Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Been a minute, I know, right? But life has been lifing. I mean, the whole Easter break has been very restful for me. So I'm here again with my pretty face, and I posted a YouTube short yesterday, and for a minute, guys, for a hot minute. I was feeling like a celebrity because the video just blew up and the views have been going crazy both on YouTube and on TikTok. I can only say thank you guys. Thank you so much. And let's just jump right into today's video. So the other day I had mentioned in my previous video when I was sharing my IELTS experience that if you would like to hear my PR story, you could make a comment and then I would be more than happy to share. So yeah, a couple of people reached out to me. Of course, I know you people like gist, but I also like to make a disclaimer though. My PR was approved in 2022. That was about 2 years ago, and I understand that PR processes have been difficult lately. So this is not in a way to trigger anybody. This is just my experience, and I'm sharing it because this can be a source of hope to people who have been in the pool for God knows how long and they are waiting for IRCC to shine to shine light on them, right? So it's not to trigger any emotions. Another thing I like to point out is this happened in 2022, right? So the processes have changed a lot. A lot of the processes have changed and you would still need to make your research. I'm not a consultant, I'm not an immigration consultant in any way, in any shape or form. So you still need to, make your own research wherever necessary so you can get your permanent residency. So like I said, I got my PR in 2022, July 2022, I guess, or June, July, I can't really remember about that range. And let me first say this to you. Are you trying to get PR for Canada? The first thing I will want you to do is to drink a cup of patience, if there's anything like that, because you would need a lot of it. Yeah, you're gonna need a lot of it. Yeah, I promise you that. Yeah, I promise you that. You need a lot of patience. See, go and carry drum of patience and swallow it because you will need it. IRCC will test. Oh my goodness, they're gonna test you. They're gonna test your patience. Let me not rant too much about the patience, and I know that you know what I'm talking about. Another thing is that if you're not doing permanent residency for Canada, you might not find this video relatable, but I know who's not doing Canada PR these days. Because trust me, being a permanent resident in Canada has a whole lot of benefits, a whole lot. And maybe this is your sign to start the process, okay? So I'm going to be referring back to my IELTS video. Please, if you've not watched that video, go and watch it right now, please. Okay, so I'm going to refer back to my video that I made that, I said I passed my IELTS and I maxed out in May 2021, so we're in the pool waiting for IRCC to do their thing, So for context, there are different ways you can become a permanent resident in Canada. There's provincial nomination program, there is federal skilled workers, and there is Canadian experience class. There's several other pathways. So the CEC Canada Experience class is for people that are already in Canada based on temporary visa and they want to change to permanent visa, permanent residence, right? So those ones they have to write IELTS, be skilled, have work experience in Canada, or maybe they've gone to school, they have Canada ties, and they want to convert. Those are the CEC ones. So then the FSW, that's like the hot cake right now. Like they are doing draws back to back right now because that one is federal skilled workers. It means that you're skilled, you have a degree, and then you have a work job that you're doing, that is listed on IRCC website, that is a job that is recognized by IRCC. So that's NOC, National Occupation Classification. So there are several list of jobs Then, so if you are skilled in one of these NOCs, then you will be able to apply for permanent residence, right? So if you have your, maybe God help you, have your masters, and then you have a good, paying job that can give you proof of fund, you can get employment letters from your organization where you work, pay stubs, reference letters, and all those things, then you are good to apply for federal skilled worker. So how that works is that once you pass your IELTS and then you do your WES, that's World Education Services. This is a body that evaluates your degree or master's degree, whatever you have, right? So they evaluate it and then they send you. So you have to contact your school to send your transcripts to West. Then West will evaluate your degree and then it's ready for use, you know. So then after that, you get your employment letters and all those things I mentioned earlier. You submit your IELTS result, amongst other things, your proof of fund, bank confirmation, and stuff like that, and you submit. Bear in mind that the scores for federal skilled workers these days has been skyrocketing, and people are having to do French exams, TF, and they are having to do like or like get more education just to qualify for FSW, right? But they've been giving draws back to back lately. IRC has been surprising people a lot, so that's that about that. So FSW was the one we used to do at the time, which was why we're aiming for a high score because it's fast. Once you have all your documents ready, just submit and within 3 months or 4 months max, then as at then you would get your permanent. It's so certain. Just have that IT. So after we passed our IELTS, we're in the pool waiting for IRCC to give us invitation to apply so we can apply. But nothing was forthcoming. So one day, I think about around August, somebody was like, "Oh, if IRCC is not forthcoming, how about you guys do provincial nomination?" I'm like, "Which one is provincial nomination?" And so the person was like, "Oh, so we would be the one to apply to a province to say, oh, we want to come to your province. Can you refer us to the federal level that we are capable?" So they will give us. Once you apply to the um, province, the province would, of course, will pay, will put our documents together, will pay and all that. And the province will give us nomination. That had 600 points to our already 474 that we had. And then from there, RCC would give you drop because that was what people were doing at the time. PMP was the surest plug at the time. Okay, so we said, oh, why not? The person recommended Saskatchewan, and that Saskatchewan was answering people. When I went to my group and I said it, because I have this Telegram groups that I joined, it's just to keep hopes alive. Because like I said earlier, you need a lot of patience and support. So I went to my group and then I said it's like, oh, so I heard so, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's what people are doing. So apparently, a lot of people have applied to Saskatchewan. So, okay, no problem. So we did it. We expressed our interest to Saskatchewan. That's a province in Canada here. So we applied, and then within 2 weeks, Saskatchewan sent us the invitation to apply. And I was shocked, like, is it that fast? So we started gathering our documents. It was in the process of gaining more information that I found out that Saskatchewan has two rules. So if you don't meet these two criteria, don't bother applying to them. You just waste your money. First one is your course of study must tally with your work experience. So if you are a doctor, you must have studied medicine. If you are a lawyer, you must have studied law. If you are a banker, you must have studied banking and finance or something like that. There's nothing like, oh, I studied Yoruba. I am now working in a bank. So it worked for me at the time because at the time I was working as human resources professional and I studied business administration. It kind of relates, but for my husband it didn't. So we just didn't bother. Then the second eligibility criteria is your proof of fund must have been in the account 3 months before you even submit the expression of interest. So it didn't really work. We didn't do it eventually. So we just left it and said, okay. In October of 2021, October 7th, I remember the date vividly. I was minding my business, JJ. I was in my office. That's how Ontario, guys, Ontario that I was not even thinking about. Not that I didn't think of Ontario when I was applying to Saskatchewan, but I'm like, Ontario does not accept expression of interest. Ontario goes into the express entry pool and picks randomly from the express entry pool. You don't apply to them, they will be the ones to reach out to you. So I didn't even bother applying or thinking about it. On that particular day, I just saw IRCC notification in my email. I quickly opened it. It was Ontario sending me invitation to apply. No, sorry, NOI, notification of interest in us. Hey, I say, oh, I'm ashamed. Like, really? I was the happiest human being on earth on that day. And I didn't even waste any time. Immediately they sent me that notification of interest. I called my husband, we were so happy and all that. We immediately started gathering our documents. I got employment letters, all these things you had already put it in the express entry profile that you have them. So when Ontario sent me NOI, it wasn't so hard. I just quickly went to my employer, I gathered all my documents, my husband gathered this proof of fund, we put everything together. West, thankfully we had completed our West when we were writing our IF, we we're doing West alongside, so we've done all that. Just submitted our application to Ontario. And we submitted within like 5, 6 days. This was like fast because we didn't want to waste any more time. We've been on this since 2019. So this is 2021. Let's just do what we have to do, right? So we did that and we paid around 1,500 Canadian dollars at the time that we paid to Ontario government. We were waiting. So because I got NOI from Ontario, I went to join Ontario group again. Before I went to join Saskatchewan, I joined a lot of group on Telegram and on WhatsApp. So I was monitoring people that had submitted before me and the timeline. And I was so shocked when people were saying it took them 4 months, 5 months for Ontario to get back to them. Some said it took them 7 days for Ontario to get back to them to give them their nomination. I'm just saying, God, I beg. And to the glory of God, December 10 of 2021, Ontario sent us our nomination. I was like within 2 months after we submitted our NOI, Ontario came through. So what that means is that they've given us 600 points. We've added it to our 474, and we now have over 1,000 points. That way, it is so easy for IRCC, that the federal level, to give us our PR. Then for federal level, we had to do our medical. So that was so we had to do our medicals. So we did that, went to IOM, and then we did what we had to do, right? So and we submitted to the federal level on January 5th of 2022. So at this point, normally within 2 months, 3 months, if I knew people in my group that got their PR within 2 months, some within few days, like say 28 days or so. It was so fast, So normally we're supposed to get our PR like in two months time max. So I was following the timelines for everybody. I was happy for people that got theirs. Congratulations and all that. And from my timeline, I was saying that my application kept getting, there's a way you can track your application on your Express Entry profile, but it was just submitted. It was not even like a review or like the progress. It was not progress. It was just submitted for a very long time. I'm like, why has it not changed? So medical accepted. The medical we did. Why is it not saying if they've sent my medicals? Why is my medicals not passed yet? All those ones should have passed. So why are they delaying? So I started getting worried. Then I began to call IRCC. I started calling IRCC in March because I waited. I don't want them to say, oh, it's too early. Why are you calling us? So I waited for like 2 exact months. So I waited for my set, like the people who submitted at the same time. I waited for them to get their PR, and I saw that mine was still pending. So I had like a good cause to call them. So I began to call IRCC, wait on the phone 20 minutes, and sometimes 1 hour, 2 hours you're on the line waiting for an agent to pick your call. But I didn't even mind. I shall called a few times and they'll say, oh, your file has been moved to Montreal visa office. I'm like, what does that mean? So the person was like, so the agent was like, oh, your file has been moved, but it's been worked on and all that. They're trying to, calm me down, all that. The one thing about the agents are very respectful. They will tell you exactly what you're asking them. But I needed to know why my file was moved, but for some reason she couldn't tell me. I guess it's against their policy or something, so she couldn't tell, which was quite understandable. But I was worried, like, Montreal, why would they move my file? Why? So I went to my group, as usual, and I found out that if they move your file to Montreal or Edmonton or another, like some other province, some other visa offices, it means that you had a visa denial on your file, which of course when you're applying, you must declare everything. I had a visa denial. Why did they deny you? I had put all that in my application. So for that reason, they moved my file to Montreal. So it meant that they needed another officer to review my file and know why I was denied. Let's not be for fraud or for anything else. So what I understood at the time, I'm like, how long will it now take before they finish this review? Because now deny them, deny me, I no keep person. You're like, go and check so much. So I joined Montreal Visa Office group again on Telegram because I have to know. That's why I started hearing, my file has been in Montreal for 8 months. My file has been in Montreal for 25 months. My file has been in Montreal for 55 years. I say, what? Ilawi, anything? I just said, okay, at this point, it's like if people want Emma Mama Gbalejo. So I started panicking basically because I'm like, hey, what 8 months? Like, what? Started calling RCC every day to find out exactly what they are reviewing. Yes, I know they said it's because I had visa denial, but that can't be the reason. Shay, nobody na deny me the visa. What's your problem and all that? So I started calling and calling and calling. Come and see emails that I sent to. Who did I not send email to in Canada in IRCC? I even sent to the Prime Minister. I sent to come and see emails that I sent. So there was a particular time I called the agent, the IRCC agent, and she told me that she sees that I've been calling a lot and I've been sending a lot of emails. And the implication of this is that if you send too many emails, for every email you send, they attach it to your file and it is up for review. So if you send an email today, they'll put it on your file for review. And the more emails you send, it piles up all the things they need to review on your file, and it makes the work harder for them. So if you stop sending email, it will allow them to do their job, and they probably have just one thing to review on your file. But if you keep sending emails, everything has to be reviewed. So it piles up the job for them. I'm like, oh, don't get by. So I did not. I stopped sending emails, and but I call to check where's my file now, how has it moved and all that. So I kept calling and calling and calling. So there's a particular day I called an RCC agent, and the person picked up. They're like, "You called last week Friday and you're calling on the Monday again." I'm like, "Oh yes, I'm calling. I want to know the progress of my file. I mean, you should understand my pain point." And she was like, "Oh, she really understands, and that all my parameters have been passed. My medical has been passed, security has been passed, info sharing has been passed. What's that one? There's another one I can't remember. Like all my parameters have been passed, and that within 2 days I should get my PR." I almost resigned from my job that day. Of course, I couldn't do that. The PR will never land from my hands, so I couldn't do that. So yeah, 1 week PPR will never drop. I started panicking again. I called again and they're like, "Oh, your parameters have been passed. You should get your PR in a few days." I'm like, "Oh, yes." An agent told me that about a week ago, and I'm yet to get anything. And the agent was kind enough to check the email trails from their end and saw that they had sent the PPR like a week ago. I'm like, "I did not receive any PR." And the agent was like, "Oh, you should have received an email, like a passport request, that's PPR." And I was like, "No, I'm not getting anything." And the agent was kind enough to resend me that email. Fortunately for me, the agent was able to send me the PPR, that's the passport request mail. Long, very long, the longest mail you will ever read. So the agent sent my PPR, and that was in June 17, yeah. And that was all we needed to become permanent residents. Well, I was just grateful to God because it wasn't like I did anything special. I just simply called, followed up on my file. I didn't leave it to chance. I made sure that I called at every slight opportunity I had. Like I would leave my work, go to the balcony of my office and keep calling IRCC because of the time difference, The PPR came and immediately we sent our passport out to Kenya because we didn't want to do Lagos VFS because Lagos VFS takes about 2 days, 2 weeks, if not more. But Kenya, within 3 days, you get your passport back, and within 4 days, the passport came back stamped. So that's how we got our PR. That's my PR story, so short and simple, right? Well, of course, it took a lot of emotions, it took a lot of prayers, like guys, prayers, because some things you can't just leave them to chance. You just have to pray, and pray about it. A few months after, I was just out of the country and then coming to Canada. That's another story entirely. I said I'm going to give you some tips and benefits you get as a permanent resident in Canada. So there are several benefits, right? There are several benefits, but I'm not going to, perch on few of them. The first thing is you have access to student loans and grants. The loan is not even compulsory. You can get the grant only. I'm talking of thousands of dollars sitting in your account. Grants because you are going for school. So the Canadian government would put your school fees and they give you grants because they understand that you're not working. Even if you're working, you're not working full time, you're studying. So they would augment that part for you. And then as a permanent resident, your kids are covered in terms of daycare, there's subsidy for you as a PR, there's child benefit. As a business owner, you have access to grants, business grants. All you need is a good, solid business plan, present it, and then defend it, and you would get grants. Government here will support you. I mean, there are other benefits for other routes, other pathways, but of course, I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking of PR. The government will support you, they'll give you that soft landing. I'm not even going to underestimate what the government of Canada is doing. They are really, really trying their best. So this is your sign to start your permanent residency application. It is not too late. Of course, the age factor affects your score. So the moment you clock 30, your score will begin to decrease by 5 points. That affects your score, but don't let age stop you. There are other ways you can boost your scores. You can write the French exam. If you have degree, you can try having masters to boost your score. You can try maxing your IELTS, give it what it takes. Just start something and make your research. There are several pathways, not only PR, there are several pathways that can get you into Canada and then subsequently make you become a permanent resident. And as a permanent resident, in Canada, there are so many countries that you can travel to without any visa. You can go to Mexico without you don't need a visa for that. You can go to Dominican Republic. I mean, there are so many countries that you can visit that you don't need a visa. That alone is a flex on its own. Yeah, but I don't want to make this video too long. I'm just going to stop this video right here. Did you enjoy it? I hope you did. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Let's continue the conversation in the comment section, okay? Thank you for watching once again. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.